Over the years, the Grenada National Trust has been working to protect our tangible and intangible assets through safeguarding, inventorying, and transmission. Retired public servant Gloria Payne Banfield outlined the importance of preserving the country's colonial legacy for future generations.
We have never been taught anything about our ancestors and where they came from and what they were capable of doing. The French and the English did not tote those stones up the hill to build Fort George or Fort Frederick or Fort Matthew or any of the other forts throughout the island. It was our ancestors. Children who do history now should not be taught about the keeping of these buildings because they look good or because they came here during the Georgian period or whatever. They should be taught that it was their ancestors who built them, and that should be a tribute to our ancestors.
She made that pronouncement when she appeared on GBN's Beyond the Headlines program. Meanwhile, Executive Council member of the Grenada National Trust, Dr. Ezra Matthias, says the trust, which was established in 1967, still grapples today with trying to fulfill some elements in the ordinance.
Now, when the Europeans came at that time, most of the architecture and the technology, they were, Georgian. In some cases, they were, Gothic structures. But the work we're doing, we have to do to protect these institutions or these structures. They're indeed part of our heritage. Because when you think in terms of the construction of those buildings, like York House, for example, which is a Georgian-style building, the people who did the construction, they're real people. They have faces and they have histories. We need to know who those people were. We need to know their lives they lead. We need to know their struggle. We need to know all of that. So preserving that history may not necessarily mean preserving just the physical structure, but preserving the memory of the people who struggled to do that under the worst conditions possible.
Chairman of the Grenada Reparations Commission, Arlie Gill, has been agitating a movement to rename streets and places that still bear names given by colonial powers as the country moved towards celebrating 50 years as an independent nation. Gill believes it is absolutely necessary for the mental transformation of Grenadians.
These names remain the glorification of the colonizers and plantation owners and slave owners and the persons who would have oppressed our forefathers and ancestors, whose heritage it is. It is certainly traumatizing to us as descendants of persons who were enslaved to continue to glorify and these persons who have transgressed the human and civil rights of our people, who treated our forefathers as property and not human beings.
As Grenada looked towards celebrating its 50th anniversary of independence next year, many are of the view that more discussions are needed to educate the people on the true meaning of independence. For GBN News, I'm Nisha Paul.